Okay, let's just start by clearing up a few things. Let's talk about what nutrition isn't, okay? Nutrition is not about bland, expensive food that we punish ourselves with because it's what we should be eating. Remember those nasty rice cakes that people were eating years ago? Oh, I took one bite of one of those spread with some kind of something, I don't know, peanut butter or almond butter, and I cannot figure out why anybody would eat those things. It's like cardboard. But that's not what we're talking about today. And the other thing that we're really not welcoming into our discussion is guilt, shame, and self-loathing, okay? I think we've all beat ourselves up an awful lot. So we're just going to toss those out in the garbage where they belong. And in their place, I want you to welcome in love, acceptance, and understanding. This conversation that we're having can only be effective and bring about positive change with the right companions. Now, why do we care about nutrition? What makes it so important that it's at the base of our wellness pyramid? You've all seen that wellness pyramid, right? Got the nutrition at the bottom, healthy eating. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. Our nutrition, which includes not only the food that we eat, but also the food that we don't eat, right? Our water intake, the supplements we take, that's the biggest piece of our healthy lifestyle. We eat multiple times a day, every day, right? Talk about consistency. That's one thing that we do. We're consistent about we all eat, right? So if we can improve this one single behavior, then we can improve every single aspect of our health. Here's a neat quote from Ann Wigmore. She says, the food you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. Think about that. Let that settle in for a minute. All right. And then, of course, Hippocrates said, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. Food is fuel. Pure and simple. That's what it is. Okay. In our society, though, we're led to believe differently. We use food to celebrate. We use food to connect with other people, to make us feel better after a stressful day, and to be our companion when we feel lonely. I mean, I can go through, a box of Girl Scout cookies pretty quickly. Sitting down watching a movie with my husband or reading a book, I have to be really thoughtful about what I'm putting in my body. But if we're feeling lonely, we can sure go through that. But the reality is that at its core, food is simply fuel. And our body needs the protein, it needs the carbohydrates and the fats to function and to thrive. And the kind of fuel that we put in our body is completely in our control, right? We're the only ones in charge of what we put in our bodies. No one is force feeding us, okay? So let's try something super radical and crazy, and let's put good, nutritious, wholesome food in our bodies, okay? Let's give ourselves the best and see how it changes our health. Now, there are 100 different ways to eat well. So we need to find a plan or an ideology that fits with your body and your lifestyle and go with it. And there are lots of different meal plans out there. My sisters love the Mediterranean diet. I have a lot of friends that are doing the paleo thing. There's just lots and lots of choices out there. So you have to really be thoughtful about what you're putting in your body. But we can all agree on some of the basics, like we need lean proteins, we need smart carbs, we need good fats, we need lots of fresh produce in our diets. And I think we can also agree on the things we need less of, a lot less of, like processed, prepackaged foods, simple carbs, sugar. Okay, if it's got a label and you don't understand the ingredients on it, that's probably good for you not to eat it, right? Let's focus on crowding out the bad with the good, okay? In other words, we're going to put so much good stuff into our bodies, we really don't have a desire to even eat the bad stuff, right? Eating less of the fast, cheap, and fake options and more of the wholesome, real food options. That's the direction we're heading, okay? So I want you to take an inventory with me. And in order to do this, to follow along with us, you need to go to post 4, if you haven't done this, and download your Oil Camp 2 workbook, okay? And you're going to love this tool. It's going to help you get the most out of your experience here with us. So today we're focusing on the nutrition portion, but we're going to come back to this concept of self-inventory throughout the camp. So hang on to this workbook for future use. So today I want you just to ask yourself a few questions, and we're going to rate ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, right? Okay, so this is not going to be a negative experience because we threw out the self-loathing, right? So when you're evaluating yourself from 1 to 10, this is really just to see where you are right now. Okay, we need to know where we are, so we need to know which direction to head. So what I want you to do is look at the last 30 days and use that as your time frame for this exercise. So question 1 is, how are you feeling about your overall nutrition? Are you eating well? And the majority of the time, are you making good choices, or are you making unhealthy options? And having that take up the bulk of your diet. Now, if you're tired, if you're stressed, it's hard to make good decisions. So, throw in some good sleep so you can do better in this area, right? Okay. Question 2, how has your overall water intake and hydration level been? Are you getting at least 64 ounces a day? That's a good medium number there, but the actual formula is that you take half your body weight in ounces per day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you'd need 75 ounces of water. If you weighed 100 pounds, that would be 50 ounces of water. We do, if you're eating foods that are very watery foods like squash or fruits that have a lot of juice, that's of course is going to carry into that. Okay. Some of your caffeinated drinks are actually dehydrating. Okay, they're not giving your body the moisture it needs. It actually is counterproductive. So make sure that what you are drinking is part of your whole nutrition package that you're wanting to achieve. Okay. So question 3, do you find that you want to eat healthy food? When you go out to eat, what is it that what are you attracted to on that menu? Okay. Are you attracted to all the fried stuff? Or are you attracted to their choice of vegetables? Do you want the grilled asparagus? All right. Or the steamed broccoli? Or are you wanting those deep fried, really cool Asian egg roll things? Okay. So what are you attracted to? Do you find that you want to eat healthy food? How do you feel about eating healthy options? Are you drawn to them, or are you repulsed by them? There are some people that I know that absolutely refuse to eat vegetables. So, there are people that are repulsed by them, right? It's an odd thing, but it's out there. Now, question 4, how do you feel about your fresh produce consumption? So they tell us that we need 12 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And I don't really know anybody that's doing that, but that's why we have our supplements, right? To fill in where we can't just physically eat that much stuff. But are vegetables for you a one-hit wonder, or are they at the top of the Billboard charts for you? Okay. Is it like you eat that one serving of vegetables a day because you're supposed to, or do you really love them and you just really yearn to eat more fresh produce? Okay. It comes without labels. It's just like God made it, just whole and beautiful, right? So here's what we want to do. We don't want you feeling overwhelmed. We don't want you to start thinking that you have to move all of these areas to a 10. So, if you scored yourself a 2 or you scored yourself a 4, we're not trying to get from 0 to 60 here, right? We're trying to move up the scale a little bit of time. You're just do this in incremental pieces, okay? So just looking for progress, not perfection. So what would it take to improve just a little bit? Okay, if you rated one area as a 5, what would it take to bump it up to a 6? Okay, if an area is rated as a 2, getting up to 10 all of a sudden sounds crazy, doesn't it? It sounds impossible. But bumping it to a 3, yeah, we can totally do that. Okay, so let's focus on just making progress, moving the needle just a little bit more in the right direction. And then remember, love and understanding are going to be your companions on this journey. Okay, not judgment. So you'll notice in the workbook, we've given you a lot of space in each quadrant to write down your thoughts. Okay, so choose a number to express where you're at right now. Then use the space to write some ideas that would help you move that number up, even just by one number, right? So we're just taking inventory right now. And we're going to use these pages just to note any ideas that come to mind. And you can decide later on what you really want to focus on. But you'll also notice in the workbook you have several blank pages, so you can use those to take notes throughout the camp, and I know you're going to find those super useful. So today, we're just going to leave you with this one last thought from Tara Stiles. Eat like you love yourself. Move like you love yourself. Speak like you love yourself. Act like you love yourself. You are uniquely created. You have purpose. You have a mission in life. Hopefully you know what that is. But isn't that beautiful? Let's just keep working through this content and to help ourselves gain new perspective and to learn new tips to help us get there. Okay? All right, we'll see you on the next post. Thanks so much.